Alexander's eyes snapped open at 3:47 a.m., his internal clock more reliable than any alarm. The cargo hauler Prometheus hummed its usual mechanical lullaby through the walls of his cramped quarters, but something felt wrong. The air tasted different, metallic, electric, alive. He turned his head slowly on the pillow and froze that a woman lay beside him in the narrow bunk, her pale lavender skin luminescent in the dim emergency lighting. Her breathing was shallow, almost imperceptible, and her angular features seemed simultaneously human and utterly alien. Dark veins traced intricate patterns beneath her translucent skin like living circuitry. Pulsing with a faint bioluminescence, Alexander's hand crept toward the plasma cutter under his mattress. But the moment his fingers touched the cold metal, her eyes opened. They were completely black. No whites, no iris, just endless obsidian depths that reflected his own terrified face back at him. "Don't," she whispered in perfect English, though her lips barely moved. "I mean you no harm, human." "That's what someone who means harm would say," Alexander replied, keeping his voice steady despite his racing heart. "How did you get onto my ship?" The woman, creature, sat up gracefully, the movement unnaturally fluid. She wore what looked like a living membrane that shifted colors with her breathing, adapting to the dim light. "Your ship rescued mine. Or rather, what remained of it. I've been in your cargo hold for 3 rotations, healing." Alexander's mind raced through the past few days. They had indeed encountered debris near the Kepler belt, fragments of an unidentified vessel. Following salvage protocols, he'd brought some pieces aboard, but he'd scanned everything. How had she evaded detection? "You're from the wreckage," he stated, sitting up carefully, keeping the plasma cutter within reach. "What are you?" "My people call ourselves the Sanguis. You would call us." She paused, tilting her head as if searching his mind for the right word. "Vampires, perhaps? Though that's a crude approximation." "Vampires?" Alexander couldn't help the slight laugh that escaped. "As in blood-drinking, undead creatures of the night." "Not undead. Very much alive. And yes, we require a specific compound found in hemoglobin to survive." Her black eyes fixed on him with an intensity that made his skin prickle. "But I haven't come to feed, Alexander Chun. I came to warn you." The fact that she knew his name sent a fresh wave of alarm through him. "Warn me about what?" "The ones who destroyed my ship are hunting your species. They call themselves the Collective, a hive-mind entity that assimilates biological species for their unique traits. They've been studying humans for decades, waiting for the right moment to harvest you." Alexander swung his legs off the bunk, creating distance between them. "Why would they want humans? We're not particularly special in the galactic scheme of things. Average strength, average intelligence, average lifespan." "You're wrong," she interrupted, rising to her feet with predatory grace. "Humans are the only species in known space with true adaptive creativity. Every other intelligent race thinks in patterns, in predetermined frameworks. You improvise. You imagine. You lie. You dream. You create art with no survival purpose. The Collective doesn't understand it, but they want it." Alexander moved to his console, pulling up the ship's external sensors. Nothing showed on the scans, just the usual cosmic background radiation and distant stellar objects. "If what you're saying is true, why tell me? What's in it for your people?" The Sanguis woman, he realized she hadn't given her name, moved closer, her footsteps absolutely silent. "Because we've been fighting the Collective for 3 centuries, and we're losing. We need allies with minds that can think outside the patterns, that can surprise even a hive mind with trillions of nodes. We need humanity's chaos. And in exchange for this alliance, you want what?" "Our blood." She smiled then, revealing fangs that seemed to extend from her canines. Elegant, curved, and absolutely lethal. "A small price for survival, don't you think? We don't kill when we feed. And our venom has properties your species would find beneficial. Enhanced healing, disease resistance, extended lifespan." Alexander's mind worked through the implications. If she was telling the truth, humanity faced an existential threat they didn't even know about. If she was lying, this could be an elaborate infiltration attempt. But something in her desperate intensity felt genuine. "Why come to me?" he asked. "I'm nobody, just a cargo hauler on the outer routes." "Because you're nobody," she replied. "The Collective monitors all official channels, all military communications. but a lone hauler making an unexpected course change to Earth that might go unnoticed long enough to deliver a warning. And because she hesitated, the first sign of uncertainty he'd seen. When I scanned your mind while you slept, I saw that you're the kind of human who actually cares, who would sacrifice comfort for truth. Alexander met her alien gaze, searching for deception and finding only grim determination. Humanity's defining trait, she'd said, was adaptive creativity, the ability to make impossible choices in impossible situations. "What's your name?" he asked. "Anna," she said softly. "My name is Anna." "All right, Anna." Alexander moved to his navigation console and began plotting a course change toward Earth. "Let's go save humanity. But if you try to bite me without asking, I'm venting you into space." "Deal." For the first time, she laughed, a sound like crystal bells and distant thunder. "Deal, Alexander Chun. Though you should know, when the time comes, you'll ask me to." As the Prometheus adjusted its trajectory, carrying its unlikely passengers toward humanity's homeworld, Alexander couldn't shake the feeling that his life had just become infinitely more complicated and infinitely more important. The universe, he was learning, was far stranger than any human had imagined. And sometimes salvation came in the most unexpected forms, even in the shape of an alien vampire woman who appeared in your bed at 3:47 a.m.